Well, now that we got all the Kirkland brand assholes out of the way,
Great value assholes are
Great value
far
assholes.
less
Get it right.
Kirkland brand assholes. Okay.
Yeah.
clearly we all got the memo. Black T-shirt night. Thank you. We're all in sync. I love it.
Ooh, I like that one. I like grays. That's cool.
Oh yeah, what is it? It's got to
What
be
is that one?
Death saves, baby.
Oh yeah, it's Death Saves. Look at her and her.
Where-
You know what, Dara?
Tell me where to get that.
Oh, there you go. Trans inclusive feminist. I like that
Feminist.
one too. If you know, let's see your shirt. Ivar, what does it say?
It says, "Black is the new black." There's nothing on there. Although I did order a shirt for myself so I would have some sales. I got my ogre one coming. So I can
Sweet. Oh, the necrotic ogre from when you guys made it through the library or the lab
yeah.
back like a million years ago.
Yeah.
Feels like a million years ago.
It
a
was
cajillion.
a year and a half ago.
What is time?
Yeah, what is time anymore? Like my brain doesn't even calculus it anymore. It's just like out there. Hey, happy Friday, everybody! It means you made it to the end of the week, and hey, thanks for coming and hanging out with us, nerds. And I hope you're wearing your black T-shirt because it's Black T-shirt Friday, people. I'm telling you, black T-shirts are very trimming and slimming. They hide all the disgusting of my body, and I love them because of that. That's right. I have serious body dysmorphia issues, and I can assure you it's very true. Ever since I lost all my weight, when I look at the mirror, I only ever see the 322 pounds person that used to be in that mirror. It's rough. There's been days I have to force myself to eat, or else I just go days without eating. So the struggle's real, folks. It's real. But on a lighter note, it's Friday. And it's a 3-day weekend coming up, but that does not deter us. We will be having Debtor's Gambit on Sunday night. I left it up to my players to decide that. Dubtuck, how are you? Thank you for coming. I had for Debtor's Gambit, I totally let them decide because I know it's not always, sometimes you look forward to playing on a 3-day weekend. Sometimes people don't. So yeah, I let them decide. They decided. Of course, whenever I conclude Sunday nights, they usually are plotting against me, according to Brendan, is what they're doing. So our Sunday night game is very much turned into a heavy conspiracy game. So I'm really enjoying that. Whereas, we've got the anti-hero game for Friday nights. We've got the apocalyptic game on Monday nights. We've got the pseudo-pirate trying to save the world Tuesday nights. And then we have our steampunk alternate universe on Wednesday nights with the Descendants. So there was no one-shot this week, but there will be a level 15 one-shot next week. And I am trying to come up with some new time schedules for those to hopefully get more people in. But it's hard. It's hard because Thursdays are when I usually take my kids home, and then I have to rush to get here, and I can't be here and there. So I'm trying. I promise. I'm trying. All the time I'm trying. Hey, Shannon. Before we do our recap really quick, what do you got going on these days?
Boy, am I glad I didn't just take that next bite. Asuka has developed a new habit where if I don't pick her up fast enough, she just full launches herself.
Launches?
At my legs.
Okay, so I need a T-shirt with a cat being launched by a catapult and the comic strip explosion word phalange. Done and done. I think that's perfect.
On it. Also, part B, excuse the fact that I just got home from the gym, so I'm stuffing my face with protein. But more importantly, hey y'all, Ombligo del Diablo finally dropped our next episode,
Nice.
edited by Sam and not myself, because God, I have not had time. So the newest episode. Wow, it's almost like I'm not even a professional. Episode is out. You're innocent when you dream. Boy, do things occur in that episode. Especially the back half, for sure. That is out anywhere you can find podcasts, or just about anywhere you can find podcasts. I'm sure there are places where it isn't available. Also, we dropped the trailer for our other campaign that has episodes that are going to start releasing soon.
Nice.
Section 6. The Section 6 trailer is out, and that one is about a group of former technocrats. If you're familiar with World of Darkness, they are the technology people. Well, not former, blacklisted technocrats.
Yeah.
They get sixed, so they have to go to this smaller organization with a very bad reputation of that's where people go when they fail, and go on various missions, do some bleep bloops, do some cries, punch some werewolves. It's great. So that is also going to be releasing in the same bat time, same bat space, different bat time. I believe that the plan is to release those on the off weeks of Ombligo del Diablo. So Ombligo del Diablo, and then next week Section 6, etc. It might be Ombligo del Diablo, like a week off, Section 6, a week off. That might be more reasonable.
Hey, as long as I have something to listen to in the studio when I'm working on stuff, I'm perfectly happy.
Let me know when you listen to the newest episode. I would be delighted to hear what you have to say about it.
So, Ivar, how goes the artistry world and t-shirts? And I believe you're doing the Necrotic Ogre, as you know, right? And then you're doing a couple others right now. And I know your shoulder's been bothering you because you've been making armor, like real fast.
I have been non-stop with people coming over to get repairs done. And
all for an event that's probably going to get canceled. That's the horrific part. Yeah.
But at least, hey, their armor's ready to go for the next one, whenever that is, maybe 2022.
Yeah. 2025. Yeah.
Yeah, 2025. Whenever. I'll probably be kicking up daisies.
It's going to be called It's going to be called the Lost Decade for sure.
Yeah, it's like, Grandma and Grandpa, what did you do during COVID? Not a damn thing.
Played a lot of D&D, kids. A lot of D&D.
I got my t-shirts up on Dark One Designs on Redbubble. If you're the nerdiest nerd, you're going to want to have a shirt that no other nerd has. Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, then you will, really, because I've only made 2 sales, and one is to Jason. So, and the other one's to me. So, if you have that nerdy shirt from Dark One Designs, you'll be the only nerd.
And some of his artwork is up in the slideshow over there. Probably if I use the correct hand right there. And down below is the link, and there's some of his artwork as well. I use Wonder Draft for the maps. But hey, Gajo, how goes Brazil these days? And Gajo, who plays Merrick, happens to be a musician, and he will be getting us a new intro riff. And once that's put in place, we will be putting Gajo's creative link up as well, because if you're in my game and you contribute, I try to give back as much as I can. So we got that coming pretty soon. And Dara.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And Dara, how are you? How's your world?
Great. Working a lot. It's Sexual Health Awareness Month, by the way, kids. So make sure to go get tested and be safe.
Yep.
Working. I bought a house, so that's kind of cool. So I'm working on the mortgage for that, and
that's kind of a big deal.
Otherwise.
Oh, by the way, I bought a house. But anyways, what I was saying.
Yeah.
Just a 30-year financial commitment.
Yeah, life is pretty good right now.
Good. How's everybody's mental health? How are we doing? Everybody feeling okay?
Stressed,
Yeah.
but I'm here.
Yeah. With a little bit of a bean, hopefully, there to help you out there, Shannon. And
Honestly, like, on a real note, she has been incredibly helpful. Just like to wake up every morning to have her like crawl up and just be in your face and purring, and even when she's being like obnoxious,
yeah,
I just love her so
But
much. It's
cats-
something to like look forward to.
cats are like
you
little
know.
sponges. They soak it up and purify it on out. Dogs can be the same way. I mean, Callista's little Papillon. I mean, she don't go anywhere without that Papillon. That is her Xanax / bottle of, Jack Daniels. I mean, whenever she gets stressed, that little dog is like all up in her grill. So, hey everyone, before I do the recap, be sure to visit all of our abouts down below. Come and hang out in our Discord. And here's why you want to hang out in our Discord. We have 2 giveaway channels. We have a weekly dice giveaway, and we have a weekly blind box miniature giveaway. Every Sunday we post it. You roll D1000, and then every Friday we draw a winner. It's my way of supporting the Dice Goblins, as well as supporting potential storytellers who are fortunate enough to have live games or battle cams, whatever your flavor is, and you can play with those minis that we send you. Other than that, you can also join our Discord, because if you are a member of our Discord, every 2 weeks we do a one-shot, and if you hit that accept on the event and you show up Thursday for the one-shot, then you're in. We play on Twitch, and the fun part about the one shot is it's really loose. It's really kind of kick back, heavily meta. It's really designed as a true teach, learn, and play kind of session where you get to experiment with level 5, 10, 15, or level 20 characters that maybe you never get to have a chance with, and it allows you to do that. So let's go ahead and recap over the fact that Gray is clearly trying to create a devastatingly upset Dara. Sephora with no clue what's going on. And clearly Merrick is still trying to deal with the fact that both the Conduit Stone and himself are kind of still stuck in between places. Here is our group, our team, within the Age of Arcanum, as they try to undo a world that has been completely annihilated by the War of the Gods. Symphoneus, the twins, Inderfen, as well as the goddess of plague and death, Talona. And this world itself has suffered for millennia under this permanent sense of climate change, magical shifting. And this particular group of adventurers are doing their best in a very kind of gray world to make gray decisions. Yes, those puns were for you, Gray. And they have finally made it out of the Worm Wastes and the Raptor Highlands, escaping the community that lives on the back of a sauropod while it was being attacked by a Deathwing group sent by Gregor the Minotaur in Wyndham to seek and hunt down the possessors of the Conduit Stone, forcing the team into the wastes, eventually losing one of their own, Harrow, to the needs to search for magical accords, magical items and relics, the main thing. But Harrow could possibly return someday, and possibly return with a Yuan-Ti child in tow, maybe even a couple of them, if he hasn't accidentally eaten them as sushi. We don't know yet. The team abandoning for the last time Harrow's Tower and making their way, they didn't get very far, and they ran into a slaver scouting party of Dragonborn who they quickly dispatched and dealt with, quickly, and giving Gray an opportunity to finally come to terms and get a better understanding of the sentient dagger that she had been infused with some time ago. Conquering the fear, conquering the trauma of the sentient nature of the dagger, she has been brought back, and the relationship with the dagger has definitely shifted and changed. There's also been a permanent exposure of memory for the first time, as the vision and understanding of the trauma that occurred and their involvement with the dead wife, the supposed dead wife, suddenly is not dead. As during the vision, they were revealed that now that they are in conjunction with the dagger and they are no longer at war with the dagger, Cullen, sure I'm pronouncing it correctly, the location of Cullen was given to them. And the team, finally, with their survivors in tow, the newly absconded equipment of the Dragonborn slavers, well, they finally made it to Femur Valley, near the tail end. Hey, Hope, how are you? Hope stopping by. Thank you so much. Oh, by the way, if you ever get a chance and you need some social assistance, check out Hope on Twitter. She does some really cool digital marketing stuff, and she has created this amazing TTRPG community that's really quite wonderful. So be sure to click on that link and go check her activity out. And she's got so many links out to all these really incredible creators. It's definitely worth the viewership. So please check that out. With the team finally making it to Femur Valley near the last few days of the season of light before the season of heat starts back up again, it is a frantic marketplace of wanderers, nomads, and all those that are seeking to gain influence in the world in hopes of, making what wealth they can, to survive yet another year in this very harsh and difficult landscape. But here in the Salt Wastes, this is the one place that a lot of the upper echelon of organizations tend to avoid because of the harsh existence. And with that, to a certain extent, the only safe region that they've been in for a long time is the Femur Valley, where they've been able to relax a little bit, recover, get new information. Gray, they have discovered that their, I don't want to say ex-wife, their wife, who they thought was dead and is now fallen back in love with him because they are alive, and they can now remember Cullen.
If we had like a Facebook status, it would be "It's complicated."
And a half-arc Dara makes it even way more interesting because, violently flirting, as Dara tends to do from time to time. The team have finally met the leader of what's called the organization or the rebel group known as the Five. Colin not only leads it, but has gathered her upper tier group of officers here in an effort to organize and begin the campaign in the deep east against the capital Wyndham, and finally try to bring these slavers to heel. The rest of the team spent the day shopping, pilfering, snatching, finding out information. They also left their survivors in control of their market stall that they had set up in the middle of this area, the Femur Valley area, the great expanse of all the activity and purchasing power of nomadic cultures spread all throughout the Salt Waste. Here, the team met and now understand that an actual rebellious cause is going on. Although this conversation has happened before, but it didn't quite pique their interest back in the community of Espis. As well, they go to the Tilted Tavern and enjoy an evening meal and a chance for a break. And where we last left off, Gray had confessed quite quickly to Dara. Well, I think it's definitely worth repeating. Don't you think, Gray? So, Gray, why don't you go ahead and take us there? Where did we last leave off?
Oh, and by the way, that's my wife. Okay, bye.
And that was the last sentence uttered to Dara where we last left off. We are now back in the Tilted Tavern. Crowd is a bit boisterous. The crowd is very uniquely different than what you'd expect
Oh, I definitely also mentioned she doesn't remember me, but that's my wife.
It doesn't make it that much better.
But I thought that it might be worth repeating that that was also part of the thing that I said.
Everybody give me quick perception checks as you take in this interior of this, what looked like a large boulder escape on the outside is clearly hollowed out and has been converted into this like drinking establishment.
You know what that is?
Perception.
Throwing it across the room so Asuka has something to play with, and also because that dice has failed me so many times.
I got a 30.
Okay, Yanti
Whoa.
as always, very
I got a-
perceptive.
11.
11 for Mare. Dara, what'd you get?
So Dara, having just heard this, is just standing there, just staring, like red and dark, like almost like passing out, just as like so many emotions going by. So she got a 4 on her perception.
Nice. I love it.
I also didn't do well because I only have eyes for my wife, obviously. 9.
9. Sephora, as you watch Gray quickly hustle over to the table where Cullen and a couple others are sitting, Dara standing there gobsmacked, Merrick just taking in the physical reality that he's been devoid of for so long.
Mm-hmm.
You take the opportunity, Sephora, to really absorb and soak in this place. There are all manner of cultures here. You can see orcs mingling with goblins, Arafanians, both east and west coast in nature. You can tell by the difference in their exposure to sun. You could see there's even the occasional dwarf, although they're usually not seen this far south, but there's a couple of them here. And it's very much a crowd that has spent the day trading, procuring, making deals, and the sweat and difficulty of the day is being exuded here. Full of individuals that are heavily cloistered amongst themselves, talking. Occasionally the conversation gets heated and rised. But all of you eventually drift over to the table. Gray, as you make your way over, Kellen stands up, her dark drow form, kind of the one good eye, staring at you intently. Oh, I'm so glad you and your friends could make it. Please, have a seat.
I do so happily.
Gray quickly sits down.
But definitely have to consider what seat to take for way too long.
And she looks, she goes, it's good that your friends came with you. I hope that this means our conversation can be productive, perhaps. Well, since you're all here, let me make my introductions. And she points, surprisingly enough, to another drow. He is in heavily blackened and rusted plate mail armor. He's got very long white and grayish hair that runs all the way down to his waist. He's got purple eyes with a kind of blackish silver skin tone that has seen a lot of battles. Scarring is all over his body. You can see a series of stitch marks that run from his forehead down to his chin, as not everybody affords the luxury of both magical and non-magical healing. He just kind of looks, yes, I've heard a bit about you. It's a pleasure, I suppose, to meet you. And he just quickly goes back to drinking from his stein. And then she goes, oh, and this over here, well, I hope she doesn't startle you too much. And you watch as the young female halfling pulls the cloak away from her head. May I introduce Olivia Gareth? Dara, give me an insight check really quick.
Sorry, was that for me? It was like crackling on my end.
Yeah, give me an insight check.
Olivia, what?
Olivia Gareth. Gareth.
Oh, I'm kind of good at that. 19.
19. The minute you meet this young halfling, there's a couple things that spring obviously to you. She's a survivor of the Master Surgeon, and you can see where her alterations have been managed. There's a series of stitchings along her shoulder. You see a long series of stitchings from elbow to fingers. You can even see long stitchings from hip to knee. From your memory, as far as you know, her skeleton has been altered. There's a chance she might be one of those that would often be used for very difficult and dangerous tasks in very unforgiving kind of environments, and her nature of her skeleton was altered to be able to perform these duties. You can see the brand of the slaver on her neck that she proudly wears and doesn't hide. She just looks at all of you and goes, she's got big, like long, curly hair that kind of strides down her shoulders. As she goes to smile, all of you realize that her teeth have been replaced with metal pinpoints. And you see these metal, like razor sharp shark teeth that run all through her mouth, which makes it her.
It seems valuable. Can I steal it? Just kidding.
You reach into her mouth and you try to pull out the
Just
teeth.
kidding. No, just kidding. No, okay. I'm picturing it in my mind how I would do it, but no, it's okay.
She goes, "Oh, hi. My name's Olivia. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm sorry for my inability to speak, but sometimes these things make it difficult, and I do apologize."
Hey, Jason.
Hmm.
Does the restoration grow teeth?
Give me a medicine check as you kind of examine the way she talks to you.
What was the drow's name? I'm sorry, I didn't get it.
Maval Dotsk. Mival. Last name Dotsk. Dotsk.
10. Not great.
And I mean, the challenge that you have is sometimes you wouldn't know this that much. So I would say this is something new to you and could be very difficult to figure out. There's something about her teeth that don't make a lot of sense. And you get the feeling that trying to restore them may cause harm or do good. You're not really sure. You've never really seen an alteration like this before. And sometimes purposeful alterations can be difficult to mend. So all of you are standing there. Maval's already gone back to it, and Olivia just smiles awkwardly at the four of you, and then goes back to leaning against the wall and drinking from her stein and just staring. Got that like 1,000-yard stare away from all of you, keeping an eye on the door. For you, Gray, you get to say that again.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Before she looks away, I want to try to like make eye contact with her and kind of like secretly sleight of handy make the like slave symbol, like how it like identify each other, just to let her know, kind of like, hey, you have somebody here.
Yeah, go for it. Give me a sleight of hand.
Ooh. Okay. That was a 23.
She
Doesn't net 20.
Yeah, she watches you briefly and gets this cursory smile on her face. As a half-goblin goes running by with a tray of Steins, she grabs one really quick, comes walking over to you and hands it to you. I see that you have experience with this.
I do.
How long have you been free?
Almost 10 years, I think. It's been a hard time. Actually, I want to retcon that. I want to make it more like 5 or 6 years. I know I said 10, but that'd be a long time, I feel, in between.
It's totally up to you. Whether she believes you or not, it's still up to her.
Yes, I would tell her. I'll say I would rotate it to 5. 5 years now, coming up on.
so long and they've never tracked you down. And I don't see that you've met the Master Surgeon, have you?
I'm gonna pull up my kind of take some wraps down or pull them down a little bit on my left leg. So I have like a stitch kind of going down my left leg, a line there.
I wonder what.
And then I'll show in my ear. One of my ears is half cut off.
So, you do have some business with the surgeon. I can tell you this much. When I put my hand in his chest and squeeze his heart, that'll be a good day. I believe we
I'm
are the
hoping
lucky
I'll-
ones.
I'm hoping I'll be right there to celebrate that victory with you.
I can always admire another survivor like us. It's amazing how far we have to go to be able to, well, just find a place to just merely live. But Colin, he's shown me purpose, and I intend to continue with it. Hopefully, you'll come along as well, but we don't practice forcing people to do anything, but we would love to have you. Can I ask you a question? Did you by chance, well, since you were out in the wastes and you seem to have come across, based on what Colin was telling us earlier, one of the slaver sleds, did you by chance get involved with a community known as Espis?
We did. We had to leave abruptly. The dirigible was coming down. We barely got away in time.
I've heard the rumors. I went there to look for our sister, and I cannot find her. She went by the name Navarti Seamfinder. She would have been a gnome to your eyes. Familiar at all to you?
We knew her, right?
She was the one that approached you guys in the green bottle. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
she was
well-
destroyed.
Well, Dara didn't really, I guess, do that. Was more of a gray communicating situation, I recall. I'd be like, yes, we were approached. We do know her.
Do you know where she
A lot
is?
of
I have
help.
not been able to find her. I was hoping she was in the community of Espis, but most have told me that it's difficult to know who's still alive after the Deathwing attack.
Can't be certain where exactly she ended up. Like we departed ways.
Kind of. Well,
She told us that she was going.
she was kind of everywhere when we left.
Yeah. So I don't think we knew a destination she was going to. Right.
Nah, she exploded.
What do you mean she exploded?
She was.
I don't recall
hit-
that.
Yeah. Am I recalling that wrongly? I'm
You watch
sure
as the
I mean, the whole
drow.
place blew to pieces.
Yeah, the drow looks up from the
We
Stein.
didn't watch that happen, did we?
Yeah, her and Green Bottle
her
were killed right
specifically.
there in the
Can
shop.
I roll for stealth now to get away from this crisis? You know, just
Yeah, go for
if
it.
you need me to roll, I just away from this drama.
Give me a stealth
No,
check.
Clearly, I don't remember those exact
Really,
details.
really,
I know
really.
it blew up, but I don't remember specifically us watching her blow up. Yeah.
Well,
It's
you
right before we went through the magic portal.
It's a 17.
17. Okay.
Yeah, I'm hidden and watching, and I'm not related to these people.
Okay. You kind of drift
Anyway, I will
off.
relay,
Okay.
relay tactfully as I can the details of the damage that Espis took and what likely happened, but we don't know for sure.
I see. You watch as the drow looks up from his stein. Olivia. What they are trying to tell you is that she's dead. As far as they can tell, she's dead. I told you, it was dangerous to send her to that community. Those nomad communities attract, well, too much attention, in my opinion. And I don't suppose that any of you know, well, He'll be here soon enough, and he will have his questions. We've been looking for people that were with the Espis community when the Deathwing squad attacked. Those particular attacks do not happen very often. And when we heard the rumor, well, I convinced Callan here that we should meet here, our 4th member. She was our 5th member. And with her supposed death, I imagine we'll have to remedy that, Callan. Yes, Moldavia, I know, I get it. But we can't remedy it unless we know for sure, now can we? The whole time, you notice that Callan is staring at you throughout the whole conversation. With one good eye, Gray.
Real quick, can I make a perception? Is anybody in the area eavesdropping on us?
With your previous roll, you've already absorbed the entirety. Any number of person here could easily be just casually listening in. There are some individuals that are more cloistered and difficult to recognize than others, but you don't see an immediate, obvious person or group listening in with much intent. Very much a crowd of just doing away with the daytime and enjoying, even though it's in the 80, 90 degrees, enjoying the evening as best they can.
That cool? What a nice, cool evening.
In Cinder,
place.
it most certainly is.
Right?
All right, just double checking then.
Okay. Merrick, give me a perception check, please.
Coming up. That is a 10.
10.
Yeah.
You notice the door opens up, a pair of new strangers come walking in. There are people drinking over their tables, people standing around talking business. Other than that, from your stealthy kind of observation point, you don't see much else. You don't see opportunity.
I'm trying to do things that people are doing. I'm not paying attention at anything in particular,
Okay.
so I won't notice anything in particular.
Okay.
But I'm like entertained with the event. I'm trying to mingle.
Okay, fair enough. There are, I guess the one thing you find interesting is that it almost triggers kind of a memory for you. This feels like a normal gathering of people with one exception. There's such a variety of cultures commingling here. This would have never been tolerated in the past. Being in service of Talona, you were either Aerofan or you weren't. If you weren't, you were taken to the pits, you were excommunicated, you were expelled out into the tropical jungles of the south. To see such a well-integrated crowd, once again, is a reminder of the change and things that have obviously changed over such a long period of time. But there's no negative vibe here. This just feels like people trying to survive to you.
Okay, this is raising important questions about what I am doing in this world so far. I'm really busy with this kind of reflection.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
With that, the rest of you watch as more steins are brought to the table. Gray, you hear a familiar clearing of somebody's throat. You look over, and there are two individuals that kind of shocks you that they're here. Sephora, you recognize them as well, and even Dara. Well, no, actually, Dara. Take that back. Dara, you recognize them as well. You hear a familiar Goliath laugh. Oh, I remember that one. Boy, did we have fun in the fights that day. Hey, Gray, how you doing? Been gone for a while. You don't remember me? And the big Goliath kind of steps closer, and Cullen just runs over and leaps into the Goliath's arms and gives him a big hug around his neck. And she goes, Rakim, you couldn't possibly know them. They're new arrivals that just got here. Colin, no, I know those two. I don't recognize them anywhere. You watch as a familiar, armless Arafanian walks in with him and looks over, says, yeah. And you recognize Mikhail is there as well, the failed sacrifice of the Avoste family member that was quite intent on doing whatever could be done to sabotage that family. Mikhail just wordlessly nods in the two of yours direction, and you notice that Rackham kind of walks over, crosses his arms in front of you, Gray, kind of nods in Dara's direction. And then for the first time, you realize that Callan finally believes him. He does recognize you. Rackham, so, where'd them other two fuckers go? Did they die? And do you still have that fucking spider? That was some shit.
That's it. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Hey, look, he didn't kill me. This is Philip.
Is he wearing
He's a good boy.
prosthetics? What'd you do? Sit on him?
Well, one of the aforementioned two individuals that were with us crushed him, so I revived him because that's what you do, obviously. So I put him back together, and now he has spider chanclas, and I'm getting him armor made.
Well, okay. Colin, you've been introduced already then. Yes, I have. Well, she came up, or they, I'm sorry, Gray. How do you...
They...
Very well. They had come up to me when I was doing my pulpit speech and trying to recruit rebels for our cause. She seemed eager, and we need eager people. And we just found out that our fifth may be permanently missing. She has not arrived yet. Yeah, I just came from Espis myself, and it looks bad. Deathwings aren't set out for just minor encounters. The Goliath kind of side-eyes both you and Dar briefly, almost like you don't even need an insight check for this. Like, curious. Very curious.
Also, Callan, I kicked his ass one time. Just saying.
Hey, she did. Oh, they certainly did. Wrestled in the mud pits. Callan looks from you to Rackham and, interesting. Did you finish, or was it just wrestling? Unfortunately, it was just wrestling. She's not really, well, they're not really a prize to our cultural requirements, so I didn't feel it was necessary to push myself upon her. That would be rude, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, I'm slightly offended that I'm not your trophy partner based on some cultural thing, but I understand and I appreciate that you respect my boundaries.
See there? Leader type if I'd ever met one before. Logic, sense of morality, understands a good
Always
cause.
Logical? 100%. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to go get some food in Steins. Poor old Mikhail here. Well, he can't pick shit up. And he goes walking off to go get food in Steins. Mikhail just, if I had a hand, I'd cover my eyes in disdain, but I don't. And he just sits down in the chair and just kind of slumps.
You see how we made spider chanclas? I could probably make you something if you want.
He just kind of looks at you and looks at the spider and shakes his head. You do realize how dangerous that is, right? I mean, you've learned how dangerous that is.
Arms?
No, the spider on your
Philip.
I see you have not changed much, Gray. It's kind of refreshing.
I have matured massively, for sure.
Yeah, the Avoste family was quite disappointed when they found out that you weren't returning.
Same! See, I was arguing that we should go back the whole time, but then we ended up in the sky and walked for months somehow, I don't know, and teleportation is weird, and then we found Progenitus. And that was pretty cool, and then he exploded, so.
Yes, unfortunately, the matriarch of the family went quite insane with the failure. Young Avaste was beheaded and put on a pike. And her uncle is now in charge of searching for you. But Pharaoh took it to heart and convinced the uncle that you would not survive the ordeal, and everybody stopped looking for you. But there's a few in the family that don't believe you're dead. But we did what we could, and Rockham got me out, and here I am.
It also worth mentioning, it wasn't our original intent to be away. The portal kind of put us 8 months in the future out in the middle of a desert. We really couldn't get back.
So
Not that we would at this point anyway.
So being in that place did that.
It did. It was wondrous. We learned a lot.
Interesting. Well, be sure to make sure the Avoste family never finds out that you're still alive. Be quite painful.
That is the plan.
Zelda's, well, her transformation is ongoing, and I'm here to tell you I'm glad we left when we did.
I feel there's more to that.
Well, she'd been working on something. Something that she believed could keep her alive forever. I always had an interest in it, always kept my eye on it. And I always made sure that information got to the young Avoste whenever possible. Now, it seems pointless. But, well, she is no longer seeing people. She is permanently sequestered in her tower. And from time to time, at least 3 to 4 people are brought to her, and they don't come back.
Excuse me. Did you say live forever? Is that what I heard?
I'm sorry. Who are you?
I'm Marek.
Oh,
Marek.
well, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Marek. I didn't see you standing there. I'm assuming
I am so sorry for eavesdropping. It wasn't my intention, but it caught my attention when you mentioned live forever, because it so happens it is a bad idea. I would like to let you know that.
Well, there are rumors that she was dabbling with magics of transformation and polymorph style kind of ways of existence. What I believe some of the more highborns call true polymorph, or what she referred to as a perfect existence. She had found many tomes and information about this existence. She had hoped that you would find something she was looking for, retrieve it, bring it back.
I've heard of promises like that a long time ago. I would seriously warn anyone to stand clear of this kind of promises.
Yeah, see, the problem with Rosalda is, well, you don't tell a highborn no. The Avoste family runs the civilian ward, and they understand power. She understands it well enough that if she could figure out how to live forever, it would definitely solve a problem that she believes is truly a problem to be solved. But I would agree with you, young Merrick, that yes, avoiding that should be the obvious answer.
I look at my party members as kind of nodding and saying, so this is what this is all about in terms of revolution that I've been hearing. Like, won't say it out loud, but I'll approach them. Now I have a little bit more of context, and I'm interested.
Okay. Colin kind of takes this moment to kind of ease everybody's conversation and tension. She puts her hand on Mikhail's shoulder, and he falls silent, and Rockham comes back with Steins. Well, now that we're all gathered here, let's take a moment to, well, talk about what we might be doing. Now, my drow friend here doesn't seem to think you're trustworthy. For some reason, I think you are. Now that you know Rockham, I'm beginning to think that maybe you are more trustworthy than I thought. Can you at least enlighten us, Gray and the rest of you? And this is Callan speaking, by the way. How did you come upon that sled? That's dragon. It's a dragon hunter sled. The main reason we're talking is I realize that you saved the slaves that were captured on it. And I understand what you did to get it. But did you do it because you had to survive? Or did you do it because you genuinely wanted to help?
Neither. We wanted them dead.
Fair answer. Gray, how about you? Judging by the smile on Sephora's face, I think killing slavers is something she's in agreement with.
I mean, killing slavers, liberating slaves seems like the right thing to do.
Down here in the wastes, it's definitely the right thing to do, and some would even say the easy thing to do. But the question is, as we travel further north and further east, making our way into the main trade routes that will harbor a great deal many more slaves,
Making our way down east, finding slaves, killing slavers, and we're homebound.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
there will be times when we simply just can't help people. Is that something you can control, or is this going to be difficult for the four of you?
We will do everything in our power to keep control, but I mean, there is an objective, and we will try to save everybody.
Olivia kind of smiles at that. What she's trying to say, Colin, is maybe. And she goes back to sipping from her stein.
Well, speaking for myself, I want to kill as many slavers as I can before I fall. And I hope that the deaths I give them are extremely painful and long-lasting before they breathe their last breath.
Now there is a woman of my own heart. Thank you, Sephora. That was a very enlightening answer. They both the drow and the halfling kind of nod in Kellen's direction. Rockham just looks at him and goes, look, I don't like the Avoste family to begin with. But my job was to retrieve Mikhail, and I got him out. The Goliath clans will not throw their lot in with you, Kellen, unless I go back and I take my clan chieftain position and call for the Order of the Rocks. Without that, maybe suits empty promises and what we can gather out in the wastes. I don't think it's going to be enough without the Goliaths, but we can certainly try, I think. Callan just kind of looks at Rockham and Olivia and Moldavia and looks at the rest of you at the table. Well, it seemed that we don't have our fifth anymore. She should have been here by now. Oh, and before we move on, Rockham, did you find your Goliath friend yet on Espis? No. I looked and I looked and I looked. Couldn't find him. If he did make his way from Wyndham and he was there during the Deathwing attack, it's quite possible he was killed. I did run into some interesting croakers. They seemed to be trying to describe that a Goliath had been seen by them, but I couldn't find any evidence of it. But if old Rahim had made it there, I would have known, but I couldn't find him. Perhaps he either died, was captured. I just hope that box of his didn't get captured as well. Yeah, that would be a shame. I mean, to miss out on that opportunity, but it is what it is. He watches Cal and looks at the four of you. So, we know where you came from. We know why you're here. You've already proven yourselves quite capable of dealing with slavers. The question of the day, how do we make sure you're not highborn spies?
Well, can I ask a question?
Well, absolutely, Zafar. Please do.
How can we trust you?
Oh, you most certainly can't. I wouldn't expect you to have that question ready to go. Perhaps I've been planted here to find you.
What's this Goliath you speak of?
Oh,
Maybe if you tell us some truths, we'll trust you.
well, Rakim, I have a contact that's been in Wyndham for some time. He was going to make his way here for the celebration of the Season of Light. And the idea was to, well, gather up as much information on Wyndham and Gregor and the Master Surgeon as we could, find out where their slave trades are, their routes are, where they'd be hunting for the season. Unfortunately, I've not been able to, well, find this box. Supposedly it contains the information that we need. Hey, Initiative League, thanks for the raid. Appreciate it. How you guys doing?
May I confer with my friends in private for a moment?
I suppose. Looking around, there's at least a handful of dark areas that you guys could kind of walk off and have a conversation in.
Okay.
And then before I turn, I'll actually reveal the brand to them and be like, "Don't ever mistake me for a highborn," and pull it back up, and then can walk over to the friends.
Okay.
Good one. So it seems that we have a piece of the puzzle.
Or,
And if
I mean,
we-
at least a few pieces.
And if we put our piece in, that would probably show that they can trust us.
All right, that's it. The battle is on, John. Your next one, I'm going to get you good. The battle is on, my friend. Happy September. Thank you,
So
thank you,
I
thank
need you
you.
to explain what happened because I don't.
Yeah.
Is it
know
a raid or something?
No, well, he rated and he gifted us 5 tier 1 subs. So there's a lot of people that have been following us who have now become members thanks to John. And me and John like to tease each other ruthlessly. I listen to his stream and he pops into mine and, you know, we share the love. We're actually all part of a TTRPG family that Hope has been creating for some time. And I have a golden rule. And, you know, if you're under 1,000 followers, we all try to help each other as much as we can because I don't do a talk show thing. I just do actual play campaigns, and that's all I like to do. John does really cool like talk shows and interviews. Unfortunately, Shannon had a last minute thing that she missed out on, but Ivar was there for it, and it was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
It was a lot of fun talking about, you know, how we play and how we run our games, and you know, it's really nice to like be able, hey, CFOS, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I think as this community builds and helps each other, I think it's really fun how you could sit down in front of Twitch and have at least 10 or 15 shows that you could watch where you're a la carte. You know, you pick what you want to watch. It's not like it's something that's being forced on you. So I love watching Initiative League. And there's at least 10 other shows that I really enjoy watching because I like to watch how other people do their stuff. It's really interesting, and it's fun to see the different energy and creativity from the different groups. I was watching Adventuring Pack for a little bit today. They have a really cool vibe. They do a thing called the Gauntlet, which is really cool. It's like a CR rated, you know, battle royale within an arena, and they jump from CR to CR to CR. So it's really fun to watch the battle mechanics. I haven't gotten a chance to watch one of John's campaigns yet because I try to watch live whenever I can, and sometimes with us being on the West Coast, it can be a little dicey sometimes. But thank you guys for all joining us. Really appreciate it. We are currently in the Tilted Tavern. The team is trying to decide whether or not to join with the Rebel Cause or continue on their own. Unfortunately, the leader of the Rebel Cause is Gray's dead wife. Gray now has their memory back. Dara is infatuated with Gray, but also intrigued with the opportunity of killing slavers. Merrick is a wraith. He's over 1,000, well, not quite 1,000 years old, maybe 500-600 years old. He's actually a manifested memory who contains the energy of the conduit stone from one of our previous players. And well, Zephora, well, she's just fucking weird and just a fucking murderer. But, you know, that's the way we are around here. So, so the four of you are talking amongst yourselves. The others seem to be talking amongst themselves as well. So go ahead.
So, what do you think?
It
I
seems that
should-
we have.
Not probably vote on this because I'm biased.
Oh, it's okay.
We should do
What?
the thing. We should give her the thing. Anything she needs.
What?
We should
Okay.
not allow anyone to have to pursue infinite life. This will lead to endless catastrophe. So I think we should do everything in our power to prove our loyalty
I
to
want
them
to
and try to
kill
stop this thing.
Slavers until I'm tired. So, I think if we go in with this lot, I think we'll have a ample opportunity to slay slavers. And
I
hear
agree
their
with the Flora.
screams as they burn, or their screams as we cut their flesh from their bodies. Oh,
You're a little too into this.
I can't. You know what? I should get some torture implements
yeah.
while I'm here. I just thought of that. So let's go spring it on them.
I think too, it's the smartest decision. We have people who agree with the cause to help with, people who agree with our sentiments and who are working towards the same things we want to work towards. It's tough out here. We need community. We keep finding ourselves without. So I think this is the best go.
There's the safety in numbers.
More numbers, more dead slavers, Sephora.
She
I
did
have a
raise
feeling
a
of
good
pleasure
point.
and contentment.
Very good.
She did raise a good point. At some point, at a certain moment, we will have to make hard choices. And I agree with the Fora that we should opt to eliminate the threats through more death instead of saving random people. I'm sorry to be blunt about it, but I should mention my inclination.
Well, you know, the ones that need to help themselves can help themselves, like we all did. But for the ones that just sit around in a cage, I don't have much empathy for them. The slugs, they're just waiting to die or to be slaves. I want someone who wants to fight for their lives. Those are the ones we want. Those are the ones that will help us kill slavers.
And the objective is to stay alive. We can't, meet our goals if we're dying for, causes that things that don't further the cause. But if we can do that while also taking down the slavers, we're going to.
Yes, I mean we can free them, but I'm not going to have them follow us around like this lot we have right now. They don't even know what to do. So
They've been very helpful. I've been talking to Alexander. You see how they're running the market, and they
can run a market, but can they kill
have-
slavers? That's what I'm saying. Well, we want the ones that can kill slavers. The rest can go run a market somewhere.
It'll also take all people. If we're trying to help rebuild a new world, we need people who can exist in that world and do what they can with their own talents to help further that.
I'm not going to not free the slaves I find, but I'm also not going to babysit them.
I think we're on the same page here.
Okay.
Don't
I'm in
forget,
agreement with that.
you
I
have a
think we are.
greater destiny.
Yeah, that's a turn of phrase, by the way. We're not literally on the same page, Sephora.
Yeah. You're making a joke.
That was a joke, yes.
Funny.
Oh.
I'm learning so much. Well,
And Merrick, what were you saying?
Don't forget you have a higher purpose. We all are in a bigger context. There is
We
a way
do?
to bring back. There is a way to bring back everything that you have never known, and I have.
Yeah, the green
I believe
times.
this is something that you should think about when you consider saving a life and jeopardizing. Well, you got my point, right?
So I was saying everyone deserves
Yes.
to live in this new world, but yes, we're not going to jeopardize the mission.
Good.
Well, let's go and show our new friends what we're made of. We've already accomplished a lot that they probably don't even know about, and I'm sure they'll be very surprised, and it will secure our place among them.
I think Gray is best equipped to deliver the news.
Yes. I think that's
I'm good at
perfect.
words.
And I'm very like pan-faced when I say that. Like I'm not looking at Gray, but I'm not being like outwardly rude. I'm just trying to hold it together.
Fair.
Fair enough.
Guys, this absolute sploot.
Sometimes I have to remind myself that cat's even alive.
Oh, she's
I
purring.
love it. That's the
So
best kitty ever.
Anyway, yeah, I will. Oh, big stretch.
Wait a minute. I have something written here. I want to look really, just quickly here.
Uh-oh. Zephora in her journal of death.
Let's see. Tension.
Sploot.
Mental or emotional strain. I feel that right now. What's going on? There's something going on.
Very
I don't know
good,
what.
Sephora. Yes.
I told you I'm learning.
Hey, just walk. Just ignore this whole thing that is happening. I have a box to go deliver.
Ignore. Oh, pretend it's not happening. All right.
Head
Well,
back to the table to talk to
let's-
people.
Yes, let's go.
Dara's gonna look over to Zephora and be like, Gray has a wife and just broke my heart. Bluntly. And then they walk away.
Let's.
Sephora's now writing that down in her journal.
Yes, it's okay. I know now. Oh,
As Sephora continues to try to understand human emotion or humanoid emotion, depending on.
Sad. Feeling or showing sorrow or unhappy.
Yes, Sephora.
Well, I am sad for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That is usually accompanied by a frown, but it's okay.
Let's go back to the table.
Look at my face. Look at my face.
Oh. Your face looks funny. It's not normal.
It isn't. It isn't. Look for a mirror.
I mean, the idea of a mirror in this place is. I mean, you look around, there are no mirrors.
I'll take a long time looking. Like I have a lot of time.
That reminds me.
Give
of
me a
kitty.
perception check.
I want that kitty transported to me instantly.
Yeah, she has two settings. This one, she's just the best, or she would just chew you to pieces.
That's my kitty. He used to bite my arm.
24.
24? I mean, looking around, you just don't see any mirrors. There's not even a window in this place.
I imagine that, yes. Looking at things. Just go on with the scene. I'm occupied now in my Wraith little investigative journey.
Fair enough.
So, we're back at the table.
So we discussed, and we think that we have some information that might be helpful to you.
Yes, and what would that be?
So, mm, you know how you were looking for a Goliath?
Yes.
We may have found his dead personage in Progenitus, Espis.
Is dead. I'm not sure I understand.
So, we had to go into the body of Progenitus, the name of the creature that was carrying Espis, for reasons. And when we were down there, we found some croakers and they were being attacked by something. So we went to figure out what that whole deal was. And we almost died a bunch. It was bad, it was very rough. And within the chamber, the thing that we were fighting, we found a body.
A body? Even Rockham's like very, like when you say body, like intact. Mostly.
Not enough that he was revivable.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
Else I would have, obviously.
Well,
Also, we found the box. Also, the box. I might be burying the lead, but I figured I would tell you about your friend first, and then also box.
you watch as the four of them all kind of eye each other strangely and then kind of look at you. Colin just goes, "The box, you have that. You have it with you now?"
I looked at the rest of my party.
Maybe see it. To at least validate that it's real. Rockham
Maybe.
knows the emblem and knows what to look for.
Would it be dangerous to have that out here in any way, publicly?
I don't think anyone else is going to know what it is. As far as that's concerned, we're just traders, exchanging goods and having a conversation about a day's trade.
Okay, just checking. Lavora.
I will take it out and put it on the table.
Sets on the heavy stone table. All of you eye it. Even Mikhail eventually comes wandering back over and goes, "Oh my. What you were looking for, Rockham?" "Yeah, I recognize the insignia. It's a slaver's communication box."
And when I'm looking for it, I take out one of the books because it's in the way, and I put it on the table too while I'm rummaging.
Okay. You guys watch as and this is one of the books from the ruins, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody now stares at that book. And Mikhail just sees it and goes, "Where did you find that? Where did you come by that book?"
Oh, it's my book.
The drow kind of looks at it. Olivia looks at it. Drow kind of looks at Kellen. "It would seem that we have met interesting new friends." Rockham's like, "Yeah. It would seem we have interesting new friends."
So the steel box, I know we defeated the gas trap that was in it. It has 3 books and a map in it.
As he lifts the lid up, takes the 3 vellum books out and the map. He begins to examine the coded cipher. He begins to examine the map. He watches Rockham reaches in to the reptilian skinned pack at his hip and he pulls out a metal plate with a series of holes punched in it. Sections are missing, some are not. And you watch as he begins to take this plate and place it over each of the pages one at a time.
Cipher key.
And then he puts the plate back into his hip pouch and looks at Colin and goes, yeah, these guys can be trusted, for sure. If they knew precisely what they had, they'd already be with either the Highborns or back in Wyndham. These are the maps that we need. These will show us every slaver route for the coming season of the hunt and the season of heat. The season of hot. It even shows some of the routes that their master ships take as well. They're air dirigibles that we've never been able to follow before. The amount of information in here, Colin, can change the very nature of our ability to recruit and free those that are being held captive. This feels like a game changer to me. And he just looks at each of you one at a time. There's kind of resolute nods around the table. What's everybody's passive perception really quick?
16.
Okay.
I don't think good.
My passive's 20.
Okay.
12.
Merrick?
My passive is 17.
Okay. Good to know. There's this kind of tension hanging in the air. And Rackham kind of looks at Colin and goes, you need to tell them, if they're going to join us, they need to know all of it, Colin. Otherwise, this isn't going to work. Yes, I'm aware, Rackham, thank you. I just want to take a moment to finally realize that we're not in a trap and we're about to die, because, we spend a great deal of our time worrying about this. Yeah, I understand, but we must do what we must do. Cullen eyes the four of you, takes a bit of a long stare at Merrick, still unsure about this strange-looking being.
As I don't find a mirror, I listen to the conversation. They do say, if it was a trap, you wouldn't have time to think about it.
Mm. Well, the reality is, we've received some information about the location of the Master Surgeon. Evidently, he is traveling. And evidently, he is, on his way to meet up with an airship called the Wraith, and possibly meeting up with the uncle of Oste, who is now patriarch of the family. And, if this is true, this will be the first time that he's ever been seen outside of the seclusion of Wyndham. We had hoped, by finding this box, we could trace the route that they might be taking. And, I can't think of a better way to strike at the cause, or for the cause, than to attempt to assassinate the Master Surgeon, as they say. His atrocities alone at least put him on a short list. Mikhail just kind of scoffs. I think you're wasting your time. You're never going to find him. We know your opinion, Mikhail. I'll ask for it next time. But Rackham is right. That is our first target. It was going to be our first target if we found this box. We found it. We have the cipher key. We have the journals. We have the maps. One can assume that with this late in the season, they will not be able to change their plans. For all they know, their plans have not been revealed. But I would be amiss if I didn't tell you how dangerous these things could be. You watch as Rackham kind of comes over behind Colin, places his hand on her shoulder, and they look at each other for the briefest of moments, smiling. Well, what do you think? Are you in? Or is this just going to be too much for you?
Does he have a mirror? I am pretty sure a surgeon must have a mirror.
I'm sure you can ask him if you are afforded the opportunity.
Okay, so I'm in.
Wait.
What
wait.
was Navarti there to ask us, by the way?
Wait. Merrick, why don't you just look in the reflection of one of these mini liquids that people are drinking?
Many liquids. People are drinking many liquids. I thought it was pretty scarce. But okay, I'll
They
try.
have alcohol. We're in a bar.
And with those words from Gray, you look down at the steins that people are drinking from, and you can see your image, see your face, you can see your reflection in it.
Oh, interesting. It is strange.
You want a whole tangent, didn't I? I'm sorry. Well, what was your friend doing in Espis looking for us?
She shakes her head, turning away from Merrick to look at you. Oh, I don't believe she was looking for you. She was recruiting. She said she had a contact there that went by the name of Greenbottle, and that's what brought her there. I had no
Oh.
idea that she met you directly. So you did see her before the attack then?
Yes. We were in Mistress Greenbottle's shop. I was her assistant.
Hmm.
And that's when the attack occurred, and unfortunately, Mistress Greenbottle was destroyed, and your friend was destroyed, and we barely escaped with our lives.
I could
By the use
confirm
of
their
steam
story,
magic.
Colin. The community of Espis suffered massive casualties and damage. Already, the sauropod ails and is likely to not survive. Takes centuries for one of those to grow. It's a shame. But it will feed a lot of people.
Well, it rots.
Well, we won't let it rot now, will we, Safar? We'll preserve it.
Not that healthy. We were inside its nostril, and it didn't look good.
You were. So, to sum everything up, you place a book on the table that hasn't been seen in millennia. You have the box that allows us to apply the cipher. You met with our fifth of the organization. You were in Espis during the Deathwing attack. And just so I'm clear, you were inside its breathing apparatus as well.
Sounds about right.
Well,
That is correct.
Yeah, when I said that we went inside of it for reasons, that would be what I was referring to.
well, I don't know what to say. I think we can trust them, Colin. Like, we can definitely trust them. He leans down, kisses her on top of the head, and turns to go retrieve some more steins.
Raptor
Do
hunting
they have
went
like
on
a
was
thing?
fun
Do
too.
they have like a thing, Jason? Do they have a thing, or was that just friendly?
Give me an insight check.
What a tangled web is woven.
Dirty 20.
Yeah, I mean, they seem affectionate with each other. She seemed genuine in her facial features when he did that.
Uh-oh.
Mm.
SpaghettiOs.
I will win her back. Or share, I guess.
Karma.
Whatever you can get, huh?
I thought she was dead. I'll take it.
We'll take it. Okay.
I'll take a pulse any time of the day.
Well,
So at this time, things are breaking down more into small talk. There seems to be a general acceptance. There's still some unanswered questions, but there seems to be a kind of quiet agreement that you may agree to move on with them. You may not. At some point, early evening turns into later evening. More crowds come and go with the evening. The drinking is not heavy. It's social. It's casual. Eventually, Dara, you watch as Mikhail gets your attention. The young Avoste sees you, kind of gives you that look like he would like to talk to you. Not necessarily in private, but away from the others.
Okay, I'll just pick up whatever I'm drinking and just walk over there.
Okay. You're only maybe 5-10 feet away from the table while others are kind of contributing to small talk. Can I ask you something, Dara?
Yes, what is it?
The intelligent one, Harrow. What happened to him? He's not dead, is he?
It's not dead as far as we know. I don't want to share too much. There was a magical occurrence that I don't quite understand. We got Merrick, and Haro has left to pursue his own journey.
Huh.
It was not on necessarily bad terms that we left. We wish him well. We hope he's well.
It's unfortunate. He was quite brilliant. I would have enjoyed speaking with him again.
He was. He had he was interesting, but he was very intelligent.
What was down there, Dara? What was down in that old part of the city? The Avostes could never get that gateway back open again. No one could figure out the nature of that door.
It's like a city preserved in time. Dar's trying to like calculate exactly what she should say and not say. There's a spirit there who can't leave, who gave us information. Items that were acquired. Danger that we had to get through. It was like nothing I'd ever seen before. It was the lore we had never heard before really confirmed.
Yes, good old Uncle Rashid was despondent, to say the least, that he couldn't get back into that door. And with Roselda's madness, well, my time was up. It was time to go. If they had discovered the fact that I'd been spying on them for so long, well, things would have become very difficult. I'm just glad that you and your friends made it out.
Thank you. We definitely didn't think we'd be seeing you again, but it's funny how life brings you together.
Hiding in plain sight with strangers, as they say.
Best way to get by.
Would agree. I really do hope you and your friends do come with us. I think if we can take out the Master Surgeon and prove to everybody that there is hope, perhaps our numbers will swell. I don't think we have what it takes now. But, Dara, do you think that this effort, this thing that we do, is it worth it? We could all just simply disappear and live our lives. I thought about it. I feel like he looks at his armless torso and feel like I've already given what there is I can give.
I've never had hope. If you had asked me up until even I would have said, no, it's not worth it. People aren't worth it. They're terrible. You can't change them. I wasn't, how do we know that we can bring things back to this, the way it was? But after seeing the way it could be, after seeing so many others, it's selfish not to. Nobody should ever have to go through the atrocities that are happening in our day and age. And maybe there are gods, maybe there's not. Maybe it was their dumb world, maybe it was a natural catastrophe. But if we can do anything to make it better, I think yes, it is worth it.
You watch as he reaches up to his neck and he pulls out the medallion that you remember was discussed about many, many, many months ago. I believe in her. I believe in her light. For the longest time, the coldest flame has been hope, but after seeing that book that your friend Sephora placed on the table, you've been to the city then. You've been to the ruins. There's always been rumor and speculation that a very long time ago, she was worshipped and openly worshipped. I would like to see that place if possible.
Well, maybe we'll get the opportunity.
Yes, I know. Focus on things now. Enjoy those things at a later time. Sorry, I got away from myself. So excuse me. Thank you for the conversation.
Can I insight check him on why he's asking us? But
Yeah, go for it.
being careful though, trying to pick up on some vibes here. Okay, good. And my insight is good, I believe. That is a 23.
You get the feeling that it's a very much non-malicious kind of inquiry. He's definitely attached to the medallion. He could quite clearly be infatuated with the idea that gods exist still. And there's a genuine loss, there's a genuine feeling of despair that comes from him, but also a very dim kind of vibe of hope. He seems genuine in his conversation with you.
Okay. So I'll still not gonna offer any more information, but I'll like relax a little bit around him that he's not, trying to get all this and report back or anything crazy.
Fair enough. The evening continues. Anything else you guys want to do while you're here amongst Cullen and the others?
Yeah, I was seeing if my luck continued with my inability to get like real drunk, and it does. So cool.
I'm going to let them peruse that book while I want to hunt down I need to learn more about interactions. So I'm going to observe people and their interactions with each other, especially I feel like using your wiles to make a person drop their guard so that then I could stab them in the eye with a dagger. It intrigues me. So if I could see some emotions and flirtations and I could mimic those, then I would be able to have my prey drop their guard, and then I could stab them in the eye or the back at the base of the skull or something like that.
Give me an investigation check.
Okay.
One of these days, my allergies will improve.
Oh, it's been horrible, man.
Yep.
So investigation would be 25.
It's interesting. As you look around this place, it's not a particular kind of thing that you're used to. People purposely commingling and having conversations about things that they could easily just kind of ask with open transparency and just get to the point. You're listening in on a lot of conversations that to you seem wasted. An effort of nuance that just doesn't make sense. A man and a woman seem to play with each other's emotions. They seem to flirt as you think it might be, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. There's intensity in a lot of other conversations. There's always this weird idea as you're watching all of this play out, the idea of eye contact. These people all look each other in the eye when they talk. It seems so strange, but occasionally they look away. You even notice that one of the orcs leans down to talk to a goblin woman, and her skin color changes a kind of pinkish hue, and she makes a strange kind of look back at the orc, and the two of them kind of go wandering off into some dark corner somewhere. You watch as a group of individuals heavily cloaked kind of reach into a small leather bag and pull out strange fungus and begin to share it amongst each other, and they slouch in their chairs, and just you watch as their eyes roll back in their head, and they kind of continue to share this pouch amongst each other. These behaviors both seem convenient, emotional, positive, negative. And for the first time since the community of Espis, you're beginning to realize that this is a desperate population that can only ever enjoy this brief period of safety, expression of emotion.
There's like a fear. There's like they're viciously attacking the good times that they're having right now.
Yeah, it feels like
Okay,
that.
'cause they might not get another one.
The
Okay.
intensity here is manifest. Drinking, the heavy conversation, the silent sounds of consensual sex in dark corners. There's no time for the illusion of choice, the illusion of a future that is just 24 hours away. Whatever happens tomorrow will happen, but what's happening right now is meant to happen right now. This floods Zephyr with some emotions that she's definitely not familiar with.
Ew.
A little bit.
Well, I memorized some of the pickup lines and the things that the people say to each other so that I could use them. Not that I'll use them correctly, but I'm going to memorize some of them that I might use in the future.
Give me just a good old-fashioned intelligence check to see how well you accomplish this. And with that investigation being as high as it is, give me an intelligence check with advantage as you spend the evening absorbing all this information.
And just a roll on my intelligence.
Yeah.
I got a 12.
12 with advantage?
Yeah, with advantage.
Okay.
Even. I don't get any pluses, right? It's just a straight roll. Right?
There will be time that you'll have to spend in the future studying
Okay.
and doing the best you can to understand this kind of reflective kind of strange way that these people behave. But given some time, you could get better at this.
Okay. Yeah, if I have any downtime, that's what I'm doing. Just observing people's. It's just a tactic
Okay. Fair enough.
for now. That's what I'm telling myself.
The evening wanes a little bit more. Go ahead, Gray.
If an opportunity presents itself, I would like to have a conversation with Callan solo.
Okay. Eventually you watch as Rackham kind of gives her a gentle kiss and walks off to take I really love the name of this drow and I keep forgetting to go back to it. And he walks off with Myval, the drow, one of the five. And you watch as they walk over to the main bar portion of the tavern to engage in a heavy conversation. Colin momentarily is alone, just kind of drinking and picking at her plate.
Can I make an offer that could come off as too personal?
Well, perhaps. You've certainly impressed me with your well, tales and information of what you've been accomplishing so far. I thought you were just lucky thieves who came across, well, slavers that just were ill prepared, but you've proven to be quite more than that.
I'm sure some of it is luck. Honestly, yeah, for sure some of it is luck. Depending on how it happened, I might be able to help you with your eye if you want.
Do you mean is it hideous? Does it look bad?
No. Just to restore the eyesight.
Oh, you can do that?
Yeah.
How do you do that? The healing magics are not very reliable. We don't know many but those that can heal. They're usually subject to arrest and execution. And you can do this?
It's like my specialty. Remember how I said that Philip got smashed and it brought him back to life?
Yes. By the way, can I ask you something about your spider? I hear everyone asking you. You do realize how dangerous that is.
Yes. It's a
I-
running theme. Everybody tells me how dangerous it is.
However, I notice it hasn't bitten you yet. It seems to be genuinely enjoy your company and admires you a great deal, but they get big. It's usually why they're harvested and not allowed to get big, because of how big they get.
I know. I'm gonna get armor for him, and he'll probably be a mount eventually that we can ride into battle. It's gonna be amazing.
Wow, you are terrifyingly exciting.
I do what I can.
How would you go about healing my eye? How does that work? It's been I don't even
Well-
remember how my eye got like this, to be honest with you.
Oh. You just woke up one day and it was like that.
Well, Rockham, he found me wandering the northern regions. I don't really remember how I got there. I just assumed that I had a slight bump in the head and was tossed from a slaver caravan and wandered the wastes, and he found me. Never really given it much thought. It's always that dark place that I'm not really sure about.
Well, I could maybe do something about that too, but I'm not sure. But I could give it a try.
Well, do we just do it here, or how does this work?
If you'd like, but as you said, healers imprison death.
Well, yeah, I suppose we shouldn't do it here. I mean, you could always come back to our encampment, and we could try it there, if that's suits you fine.
Sure. I don't have anything else going on this evening. Thinks deeply about the conversations I'm attempting to avoid.
She stares at you and goes, speaking of being forward, I swear I've seen you before. I don't know why. I don't know how. But I'm almost positive I've seen you before.
Craziest thing. I'm pretty sure I've seen you before too.
Well, anyways, let's gather the others and go back to camp and, well, give me my eye back would be something.
Hopefully, I don't want to overpromise, underdeliver, but I definitely will do my best to try.
Well, I appreciate your honesty. I mean, most people don't even want to try. Fear is a powerful tool. Mostly fear of the unknown, I think. I think that's what they do. I think that's how they manage the power. But, yeah, I think my eye would be pleasant. Be a pleasant way to go through life. And it would, well, as far as they're
Perception.
concerned, they're mostly looking for a one-eyed rebel leader. Be interesting if I had two.
You'd have like you'd be able to like hide in your own skin. Huh? Pretty cool.
Her laugh sends chills up your spine. The memory of it just turns your cheeks red. And she stares at you for a moment, and just her one good eye piercing into you quite intensely. And then awkwardly looks away.
You're nice. Not your laugh is just nice. I like.
Oh, well. One of the things that Rockham says he loves about me, my laugh. Makes him warm.
Loves, eh?
I think so. I don't know if that's an emotion that we have a great deal of time with anymore, but I feel like he loves me. I think I love him too.
Okay.
It's difficult to...
That's really nice.
I wish...
Finding love in a hopeless desert. This is really hard. I'm happy for you.
Are you okay, Gray? Did I say something that...
You're good.
Well, you're practically openly weeping. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you.
No. Yeah, you'll see. Maybe if things work. If not, then we'll just bury it.
You watch as the spider gets up on your shoulder and leaves you a little web, kind of little web ball on your shoulder. Was that the bean that just squealed at you?
No, that was the door opening.
Oh.
I didn't know that it was going to be open because it wasn't locked. That's
I heard the evil door creak. I'm like, uh-oh, are we about to see nefarious things happen to poor Shannon?
That is, my door is a little haunted sounding, but to be fair, it's like a barn door, so.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be
Fair.
I attempt really hard to not openly weep at this discovery and carry on.
Okay. She definitely is staring at you quite awkwardly the entire time. It's already kind of strange, just the fact that she has to stare with one eye. But eventually, the evening continues. Merrick and Zephora, seeing as how your passive perceptions were high enough, at least 4 of the individuals now in this place that you can see are heavily wrapped in reptilian cloaks made of raptor and the air drake kin as well. Variety of colors kind of stitched together. Both of you, the 4 of them have been quietly sitting at a table in a darkened corner, and only just now you begin to notice that they have neither drunk or eaten. They just seem to be sitting there and just staring in a kind of awkward direction. Occasionally, their visages kind of stop in your direction and then quickly pass on by you.
Are they
I'll walk
armed?
up to the table.
Merrick, give me a perception check, and Zephora, what are you checking for?
I'm walking up to their table.
Okay. What'd you get, Merrick?
It's a 17.
As far as you can tell, they don't look armed. It's difficult, though, because they're so heavily wrapped. And when their faces turn towards you, there's almost like a kind of shimmering blackness that makes it difficult for you to even be able to see their faces. But because you're focused on them, you're watching as Zephora is now making a beeline directly for their table.
Mm-hmm.
Zephora, you get within about 10 feet of their table, and all 4 of them look at you directly. 2 women, 2 men, very kind of plain features, plain faces, plain eyes, darkened hair. And they just kind of look at you and Can we help you? Is something wrong?
I don't know. Is there?
I don't believe so. We're merely sitting here enjoying our drink.
And where do you come from?
We are nomads traveling to make our market.
Oh, what do you sell?
Skins, always skins.
Oh, that's interesting. Let's see.
Merrick,
gonna
you're
cast-
noticing that Zafara's having a conversation with them now. Merrick, go ahead and give me a fresh perception check. Zafara, give me a
Okay.
quick insight check.
Okay.
Much better
Come on,
now.
baby.
It's a 21.
Okay,
I got 14.
14. Now that they're talking to Zafara, you can now make out their appearance. But there's something strange. The plain features, plain description, it's odd. And there's just the slightest moment where you feel like their faces kind of shimmer or shift. It's hard to understand what, but there's something odd about
Can I
them.
try to look back into my Arcana? Oh no, it's not actually something I'm proficient at. I can try Arcana +1 to see if there's a spell in action.
Give it a go. See if you recognize any magic being used.
I'm going to cast
16.
suggestion.
Okay. What's the save on that? You're not really sure, Merrick, but there might be magic being
Okay.
used over in that area. You're just not really sure how to pinpoint it and what it is exactly. But it's potentially an illusion spell.
It's a wisdom save.
Okay. They all four look at you with very blank stares on their faces.
Okay. Why don't you tell me why you're really here?
And how many targets can you pick with this?
I'm probably only gonna pick one. Let me see. Suggest course. One action. Magically influence a creature. So one,
Okay.
and it's limited to a sentence or two, which I used a sentence. So
They all four stare at you with very blank, kind of disarming looks. The one that you're talking to just looks at you and goes, I told you, we're here for the market.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3.
They're all
I
sitting
attack.
down.
4, 5, 6. I don't.
Right in a table.
Yep.
Sitting down. Okay.
I mean, it's pretty obvious to me that their actions are strange, right? I mean, that's why I picked up on it.
I mean, not any more stranger than some of the other weird things. It's just the one thing that you picked up on was that they're just not drinking and eating.
And they're staring at us and they turn away when we look over there.
On occasion, they seem to be just kind of staring at the crowd, but their eyes did linger in your direction a little bit more than just casual observance.
Okay. I'm gonna grab one of their chairs and tip it over so they fall down.
Give me a strength check.
Okay. My strength sucks. But I got a 16.
16. As you go to do that, the minute you touch the chair, the illusion dispels. All four of them dissipate and are gone.
What's there? Nothing?
Nothing's there at all. You watch, Merrick, as you're watching Zafora do this, and all four of them,
Mhm.
you watch as the floor burbles for a moment. Rocks begin to lift up, and you watch as this elemental face appears in the rock, as this massive elemental begins to climb out of the floor, huge mitts pulling itself up and into the tavern. I need everybody to roll for initiative, please.
No, I have a plan. I'm gonna run.
I'm gonna
I love it.
Come on, baby. Night. Plus. What do we got? 22.
Where is fucking initiative? Yeah. All right.
So like, yeah, Dara was about to leave, seeing like after her conversation, seeing Gray like walk out, but then noticing all these shenanigans, like turn around and come back in.
Now, let me set this up.
17 for Marek.
It is a 12 for Dara.
Oh, good Lord, where did he go?
On the second floor.
I know, right? God, I hate it when that happens. It's so funny.
Yeah, they like
They just
they
disappear.
like go somewhere.
Yeah, they just
Yeah,
disappear.
they go somewhere in the map that you don't know where.
Well, it's a little annoying.
Why is it always a rock monster?
We get Sephora over there, because you will be the closest. Put Merrick right here. Sephora, you'll be closest right there. And with that, you watch as 5 Dragonborn come into existence at the same time as well.
Why does it
And-
always happen,
God.
you know?
You know, they cannot keep out the riffraff. I don't understand what the problem is here. You'd think they'd see him setting up the spell and, okay, we're going to hide now, guys. Let's cast the illusion. They're like, as long as they're paying.
All right, 25 through 20.
I got a 22.
22 for Zephora. 19 through 15. 14 through 10.
That's 17 for Marek.
Oh, 17 for
17
Merrick.
for Marek.
And then 15 through 10.
12 for Dara.
12 for Dara. And I see Shannon is her normal self.
Classic cleric initiative, 8.
8 for Gray. All right. With that, Sephora, you are actually up first. And then the bad guys are on deck.
Okay.
But you, unfortunately, are closest.
Right.
Right there. As this rock elemental comes into existence in front of you, and you can see Dragonborn all throughout the background behind it as well.
Now, from the last time we fought Dragonborn, and I did take the magic user's head, I would be kind of familiar with, maybe I could pick out one that might be the magic user or the spellcaster in the group.
I'd say your passive was good enough. You see at least 3 that look like they cast spells. And they look similar to the one that you took the head of.
3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's not fun. So is there one close
That's
by? Can you maybe just make one? The others are low-level lackeys. Let's see.
You can see there's at least 3 heavily armed near the door, 1 wizard near the door. You can see at least 1 in the background behind the elemental with another heavily armed dragonborn. And then another one that looks to be a wizard in the corner behind the bar.
Okay.
Meanwhile, all of the patrons are either drawing weapons or screaming in shock.
Okay. Let me see what I'm gonna do real quick. Bell. Let me cast my suggestion. I used that. It didn't work. I'm going to cast Silence.
Okay.
It's part of my monk features, so it'll use some of my monk key points.
And who are you casting it on?
It's in a sorry, let me go back to the spell. I was looking at the key points it takes. Will there we go. It's a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point. So as wherever I can put it to like hit as many of the spellcasters as possible.
Well, oddly enough, they seem quite spread out. At best,
Okay.
you'll get one.
Ah,
It's either the one to the
Okay.
far left, the one behind the elemental, or the one to your right.
that I think that far one. I'm gonna go ahead and do that far one.
Far left or this
Far the way behind the bar.
this one
It's
right
way
here?
over there. Yeah,
Okay. Is there a save?
he seems sneaky. Let's see. No sound can be created. No, just no sound can be created within that sphere. Set it on the point. Any creature or object entirely inside the sphere is immune to thunder damage. Yeah, thunder damage because it's and they're deaf and casting a spell that includes verbal components is impossible.
All right. I will mark him blue for being silenced. That's your action. Bonus action and move.
All right, and then I think I'm gonna move, even though I might get some attacks on me. Let me use my key point I needed to use for that. And it takes 2, so let me cast 2. Sorry, let me get back over here. All right, yeah, so I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move back away from this thing. And up over that table and back toward the rest of the party.
Okay.
And I'm assuming that it will get an opportunity attack or something.
All right. I miss Groovy. I'm not gonna lie.
So you have to restart it.
But I just can't get anything to work these days. Groovy was just so much easier. Sorry, give me a sec.
Well, if they weren't so greedy, you'd still have it.
Yep. Don't know why it's not clearing the queue, and it's not.
Cue the Captain Kirk music.
Or Jeopardy.
Yeah, I know, right?
Jeopardy.
Let's get that one back. The Bard's still playing. We'll go with that. But yeah, as usual, Fred Boat died on me and won't work.
They're super good at continuing to play during bar fights. So
Yeah, that's the rumor. The rumor and speculation. So where are you moving to?
back over that table and I move back toward Mm-hmm.
All right, that will trigger an attack of opportunity. The enlarged elemental has a 10-foot reach.
Okay.
That is 19.
That hits.
18 points of bludgeoning damage. As you guys watch this elemental reach out, crashing into
Yikes.
Zephora as she peels away. Its entire arm sweeping the area around it as you watch two of the patrons drop to the ground.
Oh, not those guys. I was watching them flirt a minute ago.
Not really flirty anymore.
All right.
There's Dara in her leather bikini.
It's so apropos.
Totally what Jordan would be wearing, of course.
So muscular.
That'll finish your turn, Zephora. Allowing the elemental to go next. It's going to...
I want to go 40 feet, though, so make sure I move 40 feet back as far as I could move, whatever my full
Yeah, we'll
movement
say
is.
I'll take you all the way back here. The
Sorry.
elemental will actually knock this guy down as well. And...
Freaking Dragonborn. I hate them.
Yeah, not a problem.
there.
Had to go poke the hornet's nest.
This one's going to recognize, because it passed its insight check, and move out of the affected area. All right. With that, you guys watch as 3 darts appear right in front of Merrick and slam into him for 12 points of magical piercing damage. You watch as the same thing happens to both Kellen as well as Olivia the halfling. With that, the rock elemental is... Yep, he's within range. Actually, he's got a few more feet. The rock elemental's coming after you, Shannon.
I've done nothing.
Leave Shannon alone.
I'm just standing here.
That is a 21
I mean, yeah.
to hit. That is 14 points of bludgeoning damage. Give me a strength save, please.
Hilarious.
Hilarious. What'd you get?
That's the answer to that. It's laughable.
And you are knocked prone onto the ground. And the others, Merrick, you've got 2 longswords coming at you.
Mm-hmm.
First one is a 19, the second one is a 12.
First one hits.
That is 9 points of slashing damage.
So I can use the dodge, uncanny dodge,
Okay.
to halve it.
Yep.
And the previous one I can't, right? I suppose.
Well,
Different.
do they both hit,
12 damage.
or just the one hits?
The last one that I took 12 damage, I didn't know what hit me. What
Oh,
was it?
no, yeah, that was magic missile. You can't avoid that one.
Okay, so that's done. And now it's half of 9. It's 4 or 3. Yeah, 4 or 5.
Okay.
It's 4, right?
Yeah, it's 4.
Correct.
If it's 9 points, then it'd be 4.
Okay.
Man, all my systems are crashing on me right now. Sorry. It's very annoying when things don't work the way I would like them to work. Because, being OCD and all.
Barely noticed. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You play it off well.
Why is so weird that is doing that? The heck is wrong with this? I'm confused. So confused. Sorry, technical glitches. always occur for me. Always. No matter how hard I try.
So anyway, giant elementals. Am I right? Kind of a problem when they just kind of burst out of the floor. I'm trying to have a
I
conversation.
hate it when that happens, really.
I'm trying to have a conversation with your wife, who's obviously in love with somebody else. And, you have a companion over there that just broke her heart, and you're aware of that. But boy, are you trying to not have that conversation, because Zephora probably going to pick up a lot of things from that conversation, and I don't know if those are emotions that you want her to know what they mean. You know?
That'll finish
Yep.
the Dragonborn's turn, thanks to Shannon's interlude. That brings us to Merrick, you're up, and then Dara, you're on deck.
Okay, so I'll disengage and move away back behind the party because I am really afraid of these guys. Is that okay?
Yep.
Enough so I can cast Chill Touch. Chill
Okay.
Touch to hit.
Who are you casting
It
it
is
on?
going to be... It is 10, so I don't think it matters, but it would be like the closest Dragonborn.
Okay, fair enough. Is it a save or you have to roll to hit?
I have to roll to hit. It's a 10.
A 10, that's going to miss as you watch your chill touch effect slam off the heavy shield of the Dragonborn. Anything else you want to do?
No, I'm done.
Okay. Dara, you are up, and then Gray, you're on deck.
Okay. Okay, so I'm fairly close by. Oh, it got closer, that's right. Alright, yeah, I'm coming up to this thing, and we got the rapiers out, and I will make a... Let's see where it's gonna be. Yeah, make a slice on the abdomen where there's a little bit of space to activate the feature that allows it to have the radiant damage.
Okay.
Because my brain isn't working. Crimson Ray. Yes, that's what I thought. Cool. Yes. So that'll be the bonus action, and I'll go ahead and apparently I'm really upset because I took that full 6 of damage on that roll. Anywho, all right, and then I'm going to attack with the rapiers. And that will be a 16 to hit.
16. That'll definitely hit the elemental. If your blade just cracks and digs into it.
Okay, and then that's 9 from the rapier with an additional 4 of radiant.
Okay. All right, anything else you want to do?
I'm gonna do that again.
Go for it.
That is a 19 to hit.
18 to hit.
And that is 9 from the rapier, and then another 2 of radiant.
Okay. That'll definitely hit. 9, 2. Yeah, I mean, you just dig and slam into it. Chips and pieces of rock kind of go shattering off of it. Anything else you'd like to do?
Just stay there. Kind
Okay.
of trying to keep it away from everybody else.
Okay. Gray, you are up, and then the Callan and the rest will go after you.
Okay, seeing my wife over here get shot activates some protective instincts. So, how far away is she at the moment?
She's like, I mean, you're lying prone on the ground. She's like 2 feet next to you. She's like practically in base with you.
She's like right there.
Yep.
I'm gonna do the dumb thing, you know, like you do. Stand up.
All right, you get back up. That's half your move.
I am. Whomstever is the individual that just shot my wife, I would like to angrily make them make a con save.
All right.
point at them and just say, "You."
That is a 3.
Perfect. Gonna cast Blight on him. I blight you.
Go ahead and roll for
Yeah.
damage.
I auto rolled for damage. It's 30 necrotic.
Woo! You watch as they fall to the ground, seemingly either dead or unconscious.
Yeah, we breaking up the big guns on somebody who probably
Headshot.
2 hit points.
Messing with your wife that's in love with someone else. You'll teach him.
Yeah.
How dare he? Only I stab my wife.
Only I stab my
Stab
wife.
her other eye out.
Anything else you want to do, Gray?
That's it. Just look angry at the
She only
I-
has eye
I
for
bonus action flirt.
and bonus action. Give her a wink.
With that, Colin jumps up on the table. Malvolia jumps up on the table as
you.
well.
Oh God, we got help. Thank God.
The halfling will come over here and engage with that one. And I forgot to put out marker for the Goliath.
Oh yeah, we got a Goliath.
Ah,
We've got a cave troll.
got a cave troll. Yeah, they don't have a. Oh yeah, I use him for Goliath because he's bald. At least try to make it so he doesn't have hair. He is going to run directly in amongst them as well. I already pre-rolled for them. This one will be knocked down. This one will be knocked down. And with that, you watch as the others swarm into different locations. Cullen jumps up on the table, lets loose 3 arrow shots that strike simultaneously with the one that was engaged with the halfling. You watch as Moltovia kind of gets in with the rock elemental and uses some very fancy footwork and slices into it as well. You watch as the Goliath goes racing in amongst the Dragonborn. Watch as a heavy hammer comes down on shield and armor. There's no immediate sign of Mikhail anywhere. Olivia helps bring down one of the Dragonborn as well, which takes us to the top of the second round. Zephora, you are up, and then the bad guys will be on deck.
I will move into base with the Dragonborn right there next to the Goliath.
Okay.
And I will attack.
Go for it.
And where's my short sword? What did I just do? Oh, there it is. Okay.
You know what? When you stare at your crotch and say something like that, you might want to premise that with like some closed captioning.
Where it is, my dice. 17.
17 will just barely hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Ah. Oh, jeez. Can you not pause like that again?
But pausing is so much
Okay.
fun.
So 7 points of damage.
Okay.
And let's see. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna stay in base with it.
Okay. I'll finish your turn. It is their turn. Both Gray and, well, no, actually, it's going to concentrate on Dara because she was the first one to strike it. Dara, there are 2 strikes coming at you from the elemental.
Okay.
That is a 17 for the first one, and then a 23 for the second one.
Yeah, those will both hit.
The grand total of 18 points of bludgeoning. I don't know why I'm only doing 18s. Give me a strength save, please.
17.
17. You are not knocked prone. Taking the blows from the hammer blows from the elemental as they both come down on you. That will finish the elemental. Yeah, he is going to move over to here. Gray, you watch as streaking from the other side of the room, you watch as a greenish guiding bolt comes to slam into you. That is a 17.
Miss.
Miss. The guiding bolt at the last minute kind of bounces off your armor and ricochets into the crowd. Finish that one.
I am, for the record, intentionally trying to take stances that would be familiar to Callan and our battles together to try to just...
As a base, give me persuasion, just to kind of...
Hilarious.
Well, it's a number I can operate with. Because I don't have a roll for familiarity.
13?
13? Okay. All right, with that, Zafar, you've got one attack coming at you.
Okay.
That is a 24.
Hit.
That is 7 points of slashing damage.
Ouch.
Let's see, that one went, that one got knocked down, that one got knocked down, that one went already. That one is going to cast at Melovia that is on top of the table. He will save. He will only take half damage. You watch as a streak of lightning comes from the other caster from the opposite side of the counter, slams into the drow up on the table. That will finish their turn. Merrick, you are up, and then Dara, you're on deck.
Yes, how far is the closest caster? Just so I can...
They're both about 50 to 60 feet away from you.
50 to 60. So I'll hide near them, trying to move closer to get to them in the next turn. But I want to be in range to one... Like, this is the weakest caster, right?
I mean, you don't know.
Okay.
I mean, it's hard to tell.
No, I mean, he was hit before by Zafar. Oh, no, it was a silent spell.
Right, and you're...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. I'm going to take him next, but I will help with the golem now, the elemental.
Okay. So are you doing the hide action,
And
or what are you doing?
I'm doing the hide action.
Okay, so that's your action.
As a bonus.
Oh, that's right.
No, it's a bonus action.
I always I
yes.
forget about that. Okay, so give me a stealth check so I have a number to work with.
That is 22.
Okay. What are you doing with your action?
And actually, invert that. I'll act first and then hide.
Okay, fair enough.
Is that possible?
That would make a little bit more sense.
That is a mechanical thing. My character wouldn't stumble into that.
Right.
But I'll attack with my... I'm rolling for chill touch.
Okay, go for it.
And that is a nat 20.
Natural
It's
20.
6.
So twice the dice, so times 2, as you guys watch that cold infusion of arcane energy slam into the earth elemental.
Plus a sneak attack.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
That is 14
Nice.
plus 3d6.
Plus 3d6. Nice.
That's only 7, but that's a total of 20 damage. And I'm hidden. Now I'm hiding.
Gotcha. Watch as a frozen
it's
chunk
my
of
turn.
rock just comes off the elemental. That'll finish Merrick's turn. Dara, you're up, and then Gray's on deck.
How badly hurt is the elemental?
Hard to tell. It doesn't really feel like a living creature to you. I mean, there's damage being done to it, but it doesn't look like it even cares.
Okay. All right. So I am going to reach, or Dara's going to reach down to where she made that slice earlier, get some blood on her hands, and kind of make a little symbol and shoot it at the elemental in order to mark it. So she's using one of her blood curse. So it's you mark a creature you see within 30 feet of you. To the end of your turn, whenever you deal the right damage, you roll an additional Hemocraft die of right damage. So
Okay.
I will do that. That'll be my bonus action, and then I am going to roll to hit it with my rapiers. That is a 18 to hit.
18 will definitely hit.
So that is 16 points of total damage on the first one.
Oof.
That's a 22 to hit for the second attack.
That'll hit. Roll for damage. Just creaming this thing.
Roll in.
I think somebody can.
Absurd. 16. And that'll be 20 points of damage on that second hit.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, you dig into this thing. One of the things you notice as you begin to do more damage to it, it seems to have a natural resistance to physical melee damage. And although you're damaging it, you kind of get the feeling you're not damaging it quite as much as you'd like to.
Well, but is a magical reaper.
Yeah, but you don't think it's got to do with magic or not. You just get the feeling that this thing just has this weird kind of resistance to it. And it's frustrating.
Into the radiant?
No, it's the nature of the magic of the creature. You're not really sure what it is, but no one seems to be doing quite as much as they'd like to be doing to it. Even the amount of damage that you just watched Merrick do to it, it's just, there's something odd. There's something strange about how this thing's being manipulated.
I want to yell that around, like, it's not falling like it should be. It just makes me angrier.
Okay. Anything else you want to do?
No, that is it. Maintaining my position.
Okay. Gray, you are up, and then the good guys will go.
Hearing that, we'll try to do a smart thing. I'm going to point again, but this time at the elemental.
Okay.
To cast a spell at him.
Go for it.
Does a dirty 20 hit?
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Excellent. No damage. I'm casting Ray of Enfeeblement.
Okay.
So that he should only deal half damage with his attacks that use strength.
All right.
At the end of each of your turns, you can make a con save.
All right. He is now
For
marked.
transparency, I took 2 points of damage for the blood curse. I forgot to roll that.
All right. Good to know.
And then I will just continue to be a shield in front of Callan, even though she doesn't really need it. It was part of our tactics before, so.
All right. With that, already rolled for those guys. However, the halfling is going to move back over here. Most of the guests are either running or fleeing. Corner. Aim for the door. Been behind the bar. All right, with that, the halfling takes a shot at this guy, and you watch as a blue shimmer envelops the caster, and the arrow harmlessly goes off to the side. Goliath takes 2 strikes at the dragonborn in front of him, missing. Watch as Callan takes 2 shots at the wizard in the back, one striking, gets him in the shoulder. You watch as the drow goes into the elemental, striking it, gouging rocks off of its form. And that will finish their turn. We're now at the top of the 3rd round. Sephora, you're up, and the bad guys are on deck.
Okay. There's that Goliath's in base with the guy that I'm attacking, right?
He's in base with the one in front of him and yours.
Okay.
So you have
I'm gonna
advantage, actually.
Perfect. So I'm going to use my key to do flurry of blows.
That was a heck of a noise.
He goes,
Kung Fu Chicken or whatever that one was.
she fights just very silently, to be real honest, to be bluntly honest. She's not a very extravagant.
She's not a very auditory kind of fighter.
Yeah.
No, she fights silently because she casts silence.
That's true. Let's see. A flurry of blows. So an 18
18 will hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
and a 17. So
Both hit.
come to me, my little d4s. One of those will be what us old school guys call a backstab. And I like to call it that too.
That rare armor class never comes into play anymore, does it?
Yeah.
It might please you to know that I gave my players access to coup de grace, and I'm going to regret that.
Oh, yeah. You are.
So 3. So 9
But it
points
has to be
damage.
count.
How much?
9 points.
Nice. Still on his
But
feet.
it has to be an a hit that is considered an auto crit. So once they have access to hold person, then I'm going to regret it.
And I'm done.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah. Mhm.
I thought you hit twice.
I did. That's both my attacks and my. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Believe it or not.
Gotcha, yeah.
I'm like D4s. I did D4 and I roll ones a lot.
All right. That will bring us to the rock elemental yet again. Coming at Dara. 2 attacks. That is a 24 and a 24.
Yes.
Okay, get to 5th level to do D6.
Can't roll damage tonight. 5, 10,
Thank God.
21 points of bludgeoning damage. It brings both the hammer blows down on
Was
top
that
of you.
halved?
No, it's not.
Are you still up?
Yes.
Okay.
I have.
Seemed like my curse didn't work, Jason.
Oh no, yeah, that should be halved. Yeah, sorry. That should, because she enfeebled him, so that's only 10 points.
Oh,
Yeah, it's only 10.
ooh, okay. I thought you were making a barbarian joke, like I was raging.
Oh,
Yeah, you should rage.
we do make a
I
lot
don't
of,
know.
kind of tropey, orky barbarian jokes, don't we? But no, no. Well,
Whoever
me,
the artist
mostly
was that
me.
made that little orc figure is got a fetish for orcs, I think.
Dara appears to have slightly more than what the former hero would have had.
You're at hero level now.
I have approximately a little more than a full former hero.
Zephora, you've got an attack coming at you. That is a
Okay.
24.
Oh, of course it hits.
And 24 is 4. That is 6 points of slashing damage as longsword comes at you.
Ow.
You watch as the Goliath is struck as well. He is not going to be able to cast that, but he can cast. He's going to cast Guiding Bolt at.
What if he didn't though?
Just saying,
You know-
Baldric. Just saying.
You know what the craziest thing is through this whole
That'll
thing?
miss.
The bartender's still cleaning that glass.
Oh, he's watching. He's watching and learning. All right,
And
that.
look at art of a bartender like just trying to clean, but like comic book style. So like first panel is he's trying to clean.
Like things are
Second panel is he
flying
looks-
past him, and
Yeah. Second panel is he looks out, there's chaos. Third panel is he's trying
like-
to clean. Fourth panel is
and
blood
somebody
splatter,
drops
and
a
he's like,
stein, and he picks it up, starts cleaning it.
Eldritch blast blows the cup out of his hand. He just grabs another one, starts cleaning it.
That will
This
finish.
you know, that's the moment he whips out a sword.
That'll
Yeah,
finish
this is-
their turn. Merrick, you are up.
He's all Friday night fight.
Okay,
Atypical.
that is going to be step 1. Sneak attack with 2 touch.
And who are you attacking? The elemental?
The elemental, but
Okay.
it is a 9.
A 9.
So
Yeah, you feel the
Yeah,
bard
I'm
as the
rolling
bard.
like-
Yeah, as the bard runs by you, right, to leap over the counter, he bumps into you, and you watch as the arcane energy dissipates into the ground next to the creature.
shit. Okay, as a bonus action, I'm gonna steal all of his money. Just kidding.
No, give me a
No,
sleight of
I'm
hand
gonna-
if you want.
I'm gonna hide again because I have an idea that I don't know if it will work, but if I try to steal the components from a spellcaster, it might help. So that's my long-term plan as I hide again
Are you moving
Should I roll?
towards one of the spellcasters?
toward. Yes,
Okay.
yeah. I'm also planning on using a dagger to poke him, but next turn I'll hide, and that is a skill.
All right,
Just
go
a
ahead
second.
and give me another stealth check, so I have it as a base.
Oh, the threes love me now. It's a 14.
14. Fair enough. You're struggling to stay in the shadows. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I'll finish Merrick's turn. Dara, you are up.
All right, Dara wants to turn and look and find something fleshy that I think I can hurt worse.
Turning to your right, you can see where Zephora is engaged with the Dragonborn, as well as Rackham. You can see a casting Dragonborn against the wall to your right, and then
Mhm.
one to the left behind the counter.
Okay. And I have to leave the rock golem to get to any of them, yeah?
Correct.
Okay. That's cool. Can I make it over to the caster? How far away are they?
How fast can you move? They're about-
am gonna
They're each
30.
about 60 feet away.
So that's not gonna work. Okay. I guess I'll go over and help hit the one that Zephora is trying to beat up on too.
Okay. That will trigger an attack of opportunity.
Will
That's a 2 and a 3. He misses.
will not hit me, thankfully.
Yeah, you just watch as the massive arms strike into the ground as you go tearing off to engage the Dragonborn. Go for it.
Okay. That is a 16 to hit.
16 will not hit. You watch as
Will
your
not
blade bounces off the heavy shield of the Dragonborn, kind of sparking as it does.
Didn't love that, so we're gonna try it again.
Okay.
Aha! That is an 18 to hit.
18 will definitely hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Oh, good. That is 21 points of damage on that one.
21. You watch, frustrated that your first strike. This one, however, knocks the Dragonborn to the ground.
And I got one more.
You're not. Well, you knock the one to the ground. He seems either dead or unconscious. You're not sure. There's not another one in base with you.
Oh, that's darn.
And now you only moved 10 feet, so you could move towards the other one, engage with Rockham if you want.
Yeah, I'll go do that one.
Okay. Move up a little forward. All right, go for it. Roll to hit.
That was a natural 20.
Ooh, times 2 or
Yeah.
twice the dice. Up to you.
Yeah. Is the twice for all of my add-ons as well?
Just the weapon damage, not
Just
the bonuses.
Okay. That would have been real exciting.
It would have.
That is a dice on the floor. We're gonna get try that again.
How does that keep happening?
Is that a different? Some let you do that, right? There's other optional rules that would let you do that, right?
24. I think if you're a paladin, you will double everything. Or maybe that's a house rule in my other game. That's a homebrew rule then in my other game.
Yeah, it's usually a raw interpretation of critical hits. That it's just times 2 your base damage. How much total damage did you do?
That one was 24.
24. Already taken some damage. He is looking particularly rough. That will finish your turn. Gray, you are up.
Question.
Maybe an answer?
Does this elemental look like a natural boy or like he is being animated by something?
I'll say you have enough familiarity with arcane knowledge, especially the strange little interludes that you and Harrow used to have together.
I am proficient in it.
You get the feeling that it's a summoned elemental. It doesn't make sense that it would be a natural one.
Is it possible to try to target the magic that summoned him? Or is that a thing that one would have to do as he is summoned?
You'll know that at least one of the two casters is concentrating on the effect, and that if they're disrupted, it could dispel the creature. But you're not really sure which one it is. There's two casters remaining, one to your right and one to your far left.
Eeny, meeny, miny,
Yeah.
mo. This
Roll for
one
Eeny
has
and
got
roll
to
for
go.
Mo.
I'll go for the one on the left.
Okay, go for it.
I'm attempt to guiding bolt him up the butt.
Okay, roll to hit.
18?
18 will hit. It slams into him, not quite up the butt, but it slams into him.
Fair enough.
Pretty close.
Pretty close. His butthole's
Just
ready.
these sparks of energy and arcane heat kind of coming off of his chest.
Not a very good roll, but 14 points of radiant damage on that boy.
14. He gets knocked down and does not get back up. And you watch as
Yes, you did the one.
you watch as the rocks just cascade down to the ground. The remaining two Dragonborns looking nervously at each other.
Awesome.
I just look back at Callan like, ha, ha, ha,
She looks
ha.
she looks at you and goes, gives you the nod of, all right.
His heart grew 3 times that day.
Anything else you want to do? You're free to move
Bonus
now.
action, fist pump.
Bonus action.
Yeah. And then I'll run towards the other caster as far as my 30 feet can get me.
Okay, I'll get you there. The good guys are going to go. With that being freed up, this guy's going to come and join you. Kellen is going to move in this direction.
Free action, high five to my drow friend. If he takes it.
He's going to move in front of the door.
Is he leaving me hanging?
No, he just, as he comes up, smacks you right in the hand.
Yes.
I don't know where you came from, but that was pretty fucking cool. And then you watch as he throws a dagger at the other caster. almost hits him in the chest. The other caster's looking pretty rough. You watch as the halfling turns and shoots another crossbow bolt. It just careens sideways off the caster. You watch as Rockham just suddenly rages at the last minute. The massive weapon coming down on top of the Dragonborn as it collapses to the ground.
A dagger, also pretty cool.
And that will finish their turn, all leaving the single caster. Zephora, we are in round 4. You are up, and the bad guy will be on deck.
Let's see where I'm at.
I'll just shout out to Zephora. You don't have to leave him alive. I have ways.
So I'll move my full movement to that caster.
40 feet?
Yeah, 40 feet.
Okay. Put you in base with it.
All right. And I will attack with my short sword.
Go for it. Yeah, I definitely like this overlay better. You guys can see everything a lot clearer, can't you?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
24.
24 will definitely hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Finally, something decent. So, this will be. Where was my?
He's got 3 hit
Short
points
sword.
left, man.
Oh, okay. So he takes 8. It takes 8 hit points.
Yeah, you watch as the head detaches from the body, and he falls to
I
the
want
ground.
to try to catch the head.
Give me sleight of hand as your bonus action.
Okay. Sleight of hand. Here we go, baby. Come on. Oh, that sucks. I only got an 8. Damn it.
It
Would have been so
makes
cool.
a squishy noise on the ground. We're out of initiative. The group kind of all looks at you, and everyone looks at each other. There's like this kind of strange, heavy breathing sound coming from the Goliath as he begins to calm himself down. Everybody stares at each other momentarily. And as you guys all stare at each other, the 2 massive doors of the entrance into the place come bursting open. Both doors. You watch as the form of the halfling goes flying, and as the doors just get ripped open out of their hinges. You'll have to be back here next week to find out what happened.
Of course you do that.
What?
As
That is
the
rude, sir. That is quite
creature
rude.
on the outside is making its way in. This will make for making my way in. Are we excited, Shannon, for season 3? Are we excited?
Yes.
Yes.
So excited. I had to calculate. Yes.
What's he talking about? Oh yeah, that's right. He's a fanboy. I keep forgetting.
Yep. Got it. We got
And
it.
of course, Cesare is lurking. He's always
Ches.
lurking. Hey, Ches. How are you?
How it feel like somebody's watching
To
me.
me. Well, happy Friday, everybody. Thank you for coming out. Happy September. If you could afford it,
Goodbye.
please do sub. We could always use the help. If not, give us a follow. If not, join the Discord, win some dice, win some miniatures, have some fun. We'll be back here Sunday night for Debtor's Gambit. It's an interesting situation that mass conspiracy finds itself. The really fun Omni and the Hawk conversation from Sunday was pretty intense. Like,
That was
really
fire.
cool. It was pretty cool. So, as always, check out our links, check out our partners, give us visits, give us follows, come and hang out. We have shows every day of the week, except alternate Thursdays and Saturdays. That's because I run my pay-to-play tables on Saturdays. But hopefully someday they might want to be a Twitch show. I always leave it up to them, but you never know. But hey, everybody, as I always say, stay safe, be kind, play a game. You'll love it. It's fun. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.